All right, so here I am. I'm zooming. We'll see who joins us. Put this out. Yeah. One more moment. Okay. Who's that? Well, I don't do the big one so often. I have to remember my Thomas mechanics. Well, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Friends. It has been a harrowing week. And it's still unfolding, the way in which the traumas of the week are continuing. Horrible terrorist attacks in Israel, killing over 1,000 people. Greatest violence against Jews since the Second World War. And a predictable and also painful, intense military conflagration following, where both people responsible and people not responsible pay the price. And there's great distress and fear. And also courage and resilience, but we're not far enough away from what's happening to tell a story about it yet, you know, because it is ongoing. So the only solace, not solace, but I guess oasis or touchstone that I think to reach for is to remember that Judaism has been an ongoing enterprise for thousands of years, and we have practiced our traditions through many crises and returned to those principles and those values when things are bright and shiny and when things are terrifying. And everywhere up and down the spectrum. So whether this is something that happens only for you kind of in the distant abstract, because not everybody has lived and felt connections in the places where things are most happening, or whether it is very immediate for you if you have family or friends or loved ones more directly affected. We get through this by walking the path together, by being with one another, and also, as I'm sorry, I keep referencing this conversation that Sephora and I recently had, but also by remembering that not everything everybody says contains the full truth of either what is or what they think or what they understand, and that we have to live, I think it's where you said, carefully, with a certain kind of filter, so that every response is not escalated, so that they ping pong back and get louder and louder. So that's what I will hope that we can aim for during this Shabbat, is to seek to touch again an inner calm, not in denial, but in renewal and in restoration, so that as we continue to face what emerges, we know we can rely on one another to help bring us through it. So let's begin on page 1. Hamamero shailanot nistalka, uvenetze likrat Shabbat hamalka. Hine hi yoredet hakedosha habrucha, ve'ima malachim tzva shalom umenucha. Boi boi hamalka, boi boi hakala. Shalom alechem alechei ha-shalom. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, O Queen, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace be unto you, O angels of peace. Can use angels of peace all around us on page 2.
Okay, hang on.
Oh, hang on.
I think this is this week's.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem neshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem leshalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chiri biri biri bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bim. Continue in the middle of page 3. We face the eternal every moment we live. We come before God in every action we take. Together,
The presence of Adonai fills the whole world. God's glory is everlasting. There is no place in the heavens or the earth that is not holy.
there is no moment in time that is not sacred. no aspect of existence that does not bear the seal of godliness.
If we would truly open our eyes, we would recognize, as did Jacob of old, that the gateway to heaven is wherever we are.
It is to open our eyes to the holiness everywhere about us and to the godliness within us that we gather in this house of prayer.
Here we renew those bonds which link us to our people and our faith.
Turn to page 3 and prepare to kindle these lights. They are lights of peace for Shabbat, and may their light go forth and bring the hope and promise of peace to everyone. Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen. Thank you, Sephora. Thank you, Ron. There are so many actions that over the course of our lives we do so many times that many of them it becomes somewhat rote or automatic. And then there are times when well-honed or well-trod paths emerge as especially significant. And I realized that I really felt like I needed that little bit of extra light right now. And I really felt more encouraged just because our room has a bit more illumination, but also because the two of you demonstrated how people can make a brighter place through this physical action and its correlates in our relationships with one another. So thank you for bringing light.
Actually, if you don't mind my inserting something here, actually the Christian community has been asking that Christians all around the world light Shabbat candles tonight.
I have not heard that from them.
Yeah, my roommate, who was a Catholic convert from being Protestant, came in and she was like weepy, and she said, "Can we light Shabbat candles tonight?" I invited her to come today to our service, but she got a flu shot yesterday, and it kind of did her in. But I just wanted to mention that because I know that not everybody in this room is ethnically Jewish, so that's important that they're encouraging people all around the world to light Shabbat candles tonight. So we really do need that extra light.
I am happy for anybody who wants to bring out the idea of creating more peace and making that visible, whether they do it through Shabbat candles or any of a thousand wonderful ways to hold up the value of peace. Thank you for telling us.
Yeah, sure.
Page 5. We meet on holy ground, for that place is holy where God is found. This is where lives touch, where love moves, where hope stirs. This is where we realize our need for one another and rejoice in our closeness to each other. This is where we care about our companions, each bringing strength to the whole. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת החיות גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת החיות גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחיות גם יחד. Page 6. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה מראש, מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. So at the bottom of page 7, it is, of course, regular for us to offer this reading, which I think is attributed to Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, although I don't know if that's accurate, but it feels like it fits within his, in some ways within his view. But it is a reminder that when we are faced with tangible problems in the real world, prayer is not the resolution of those things, but it is oftentimes the path towards becoming the kind of people who can bring about eventual resolution. So it does not solve engineering problems, but it may fortify engineers to think creatively. It does not give food to people, but it may remind us of our obligations to share what we have with those who have less. Prayer can reorient us towards what is needed and away from that which is distraction. Prayer cannot mend a broken bridge, rebuild a ruined city, or bring water to parched fields. Together, but prayer can mend a broken heart, lift up a discouraged soul, and strengthen a weakened will. Page 8. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai la lai 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 la lai. Yai lai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam va'ed. Hamevorach, Hamevorach leolam va'ed. Praised are you, Eternal One, our God, ruler of the universe, by whose word the day becomes night. Together,
With wisdom you open the gates of heaven. With understanding you regulate times and seasons. Ever-living God, rule over us forever.
praised are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening dusk. Umavir yom umehevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, ha'amari v'aravim. Page 9. With everlasting love, you have loved your people Israel. Together,
You have taught us the Torah and its mitzvot. You have instructed us in its laws and traditions.
therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we shall speak of your commandments and rejoice in your Torah and mitzvot forever.
For they are our life and the length of our days. We will meditate on them day and night.
May you never take away your love from us. Praised are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvehem nehege yomam v'layla, v'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Praised be God's glorious sovereignty forever and ever. Page 10. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibaharta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Do this so that you will remember and fulfill all my commandments and become holy for your God. I am the eternal, your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I am the eternal, your God. Page 12. Let us pause for a moment of reflection. In dark times, it is perhaps fortifying to remember other periods that seemed bleak, and yet we have found ourselves on the other side of them. So too may we find ourselves on the distant side of the current distress. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, Norat tehilot osef ele, Norat tehilot osef ele. Malachutcha ra'uvanecha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze Elianu ve'amru, Ze Elianu ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai lai lai la 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 ya lai la lai la lai la 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 yai la lai lai ya la 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 yai la lai lai ya la 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 Mar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugealo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, Redeemer of Israel. Page 13. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, apore sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people, and over Jerusalem. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו ונהי ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Page 14. There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know. Together.
There is holiness when we are kind to someone who cannot possibly be of service to us.
There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us.
There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe in.
There is holiness when we love truly, honestly, and unselfishly.
There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer into a dark corner.
There is holiness when we share our ideas, our enthusiasm, ourselves.
There is holiness when we gather to pray to God who gave us the power to pray.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah v'Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'zocher chastei avot ve'imahot, U'mevii goel livnei bneihem leman shemo v'yahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Blessed are you, Adonai, shield of Abraham and help of Sarah. Page 16. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, mechaye kol chayat harav lehoshia, mashiv haruach morid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye kol chay berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, umatir asurim, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מהלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות כל חי. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה כל חי. Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good and not evil. Together,
you are the source of life and blessing. Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling. Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in life as in death. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good.
Blessed are you, Adonai, source of life. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We continue in silent prayer for the remainder of the Amidah, pages 18, 19, 20, and 21. You may offer these words, the traditional ones in Hebrew or the translations in English, or you can offer your own words that come from the prayer book of your hearts and your spirit this Shabbat. Ose shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, imru, amen. May the one who makes peace on high make peace for us, for all Israel, and for all dwelling on earth. And let us say, amen. Shabbat shalom. Let there be Shabbat shalom.
Seriously.
It's always the wish. There are two ideas in my head competing for airtime. And one of them I think is more immediate to the moment, and the other one can keep for another day. So I'll speak to the one I think that's more responsive to this minute. I always appreciate the kavanah that we find before the Amidah in our prayer book on page 14, the one that tries to do this work of drawing our attention to the presence of or the possibilities for holiness in day-to-day action, in relationships with other people, the places where we might think that holiness only exists in some rarefied context, but is in fact possible at almost any moment. And liturgists are poets, right? People who write words intending to inspire. It's not a political platform, it's not something for argumentation and critique. And if you're not a fluent Hebrew speaker, and I'm a decent Hebrew speaker, but I'm not a fluent Hebrew speaker, there are times when I can go through the liturgy and not really have my critical eye react to everything like it does in English, because my brain doesn't have to work as hard in English, and so it has extra time to do other things while I'm speaking it. So I might be in an inner dialogue about Hebrew liturgy as well. But when we come to this line, that's the third phrase on page 14, it says, there is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us. I do think, I'm still a person who thinks that there is holiness in remembering what unites us.
Right.
I am not so sure how much holiness there is in forgetting what divides us. I would, and no shade thrown on the writer, because most of the time I read this without much reaction, but today I would rather say there is holiness when we remember what unites us, even when we are aware of what divides us.
Yeah.
That it is not a virtue to disregard or seek to erase for good intent or for naivete important distinctions between people. And I think the greater challenge and the truer sentiment is that even when we fundamentally disagree or lightly disagree, and that can obscure the sense that we have things that also unite us, that's the work to do, to remember that the people in disagreement are both human beings, and everything that we hold and teach and understand about what applies to human beings applies to the people in the disagreement, whether it is a war or an argument about which television show to watch, right? It could be petty or ultimately significant. Forgetting what divides us, I think, expresses a fantasy that what unites us is always enduring and what divides us is always based on misperception or failure of understanding. And maybe that's true. It's too idealistic to be a basis of action. So, yeah? All right. People do sometimes passionately disagree about what kind of hair somebody else should have on their head or not. Generations have been divided by those concepts. But I think that the challenge, and this is, I guess, part of what I'm struggling with, is to retain a sense of everybody's humanity. And that's true also regarding people who don't really regard my humanity, as fully as I do, and as I think everyone ought. So it does not mean, as some people worry, that everything is always the same if you just look at it the right way. That nothing is better or worse, and every opinion and every action is ultimately reducible to nothing more than perspective and stance. I don't think our traditions teach that at all. I think our traditions teach that there are values and virtues and rules and expectations. And when individuals or communities are in violation of those, there's a accountability and a responsibility on others to respond, to act. None of that erases the humanity of the other people. It's convenient for us, I think, when it does, when we can look at people who are our enemies or who we define as our enemies and say, they're not like us in any way. Then we can justify just about anything that is done, just as others might justify harm to us by disregarding our humanity. Well, I'm still talking. Yeah. Yeah. So I begin and end at the point of I don't know what will happen. I can't tell you what ought happen. I'm not in the position to choose all of the steps that happen, and I'm relieved about that. But I do know that I feel everyone who is in positions of power and authority who must make decisions that sometimes cause harm to others. And that might even be some of their legitimate responsibility, should hold the real humanity of the other in the calculations, in the assessments, in the decision making. It doesn't necessarily say what will go next, but that is an irreducible, I think, part of unity and conflict. I'm not going to rewrite this line. I think we can still struggle with it each week the way that it's written. And sometimes, if it means you should prioritize what unites us over what divides us, then maybe most of the time that feels like a good direction. This week it doesn't feel like a good direction. What? Well, so, but I want to be in discussion with these words that so easily pass my lips most of the time, as we continue to struggle and live our way through these days and weeks ahead. And our obligations to protect those who need protection. So let us offer our Misha Berach, our prayer for healing, for the wounded, for the terrified, for the captured, for the innocent, and know that we are connected to them in our shared humanity. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha lehimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor habracha lehavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, Bayom hahu, yihye Adonai echad, u'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad, u'shemo echad. On that day, O God, you shall be one, and your name shall be one. Page 25. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light. Long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with those who've touched our lives. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. We remember. On page 26 are the words of Kaddish. Before we recite, it's our custom to pause for a moment of remembrance and reflection, and a chance for anyone who wishes to share names aloud or to hold them silently of those whose memories you are and whose legacies you're holding and keeping faith with as we prepare for this moment. So as I look around the room, if you wish to share names aloud, I invite you to.
My friend Robin Romeo and my mother, Tafiya Benovich Swan.
Remember Bert Brody and Victor Kapwaff and other members of our community whose lives and legacies continue to reverberate with us. And of course, so many people of all ages and stages and roles killed in the violence in Israel this past week, and all the families in grief and fear facing the days to come. It is our responsibility to live in loud support of those who feel alone and embattled. In all of the honor of the memories of those we have lost and the holiness that we hope again to be possible going forward, we share our voices together in the words of Kaddish on page 26. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'alam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemedikudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to those who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And again we say, Amen. So it's our custom, right, to share good news at the time of Kiddush. And sometimes good news is a helpful balance to bad news, and sometimes good news feels like it's in bad taste. That it's this in service of denial rather than in service of balance. So I will just, in this moment, recall perhaps the most steadfast teacher that I can think of in the face of difficult times, who is none other than Mr. Rogers, who always said, and sometimes through the television screen to children and families, and sometimes he said it, I think, first and most memorably around Kennedy's assassination, and then prominent messaging again around 9/11. And he talked about what his mother would tell him when he would ask her where was God when bad things were happening, And she said to him, and he said to us, and I say to myself, look for the people who are helping. Whenever something horrible is going on, there are also always people who are helping. And I don't know that that's the only place where God is, but that's certainly a place where God is. And sometimes when we are the ones who are helping, we are the ones who bring God into that place. Vayerev vayevoker yom hashishi, vayechulu hashamayim veharetz, v'chol tzevam, v'chal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa, vayishpot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa, vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto, ki vo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot, savri chavarai l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uveratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher letziyat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta Yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim. Well, so I want to give a special shout out of appreciation to Ron, who in Sharon's absence, Sharon was away this week, and so Ron inherits the mantle of Chief Logistics Officer. And thank you for your steadfast work this week and every week, but managing the awareness of where we have enough hands and helpers and where we need some more. And I really appreciate your dedication and presence, and I'm sorry that Sharon had her week of renewal on this week of no renewal, but we will welcome her back when she returns. I think she's back next week. She's certainly back by next Friday. I just don't know if she's I think she's back all of next week. Yeah. Often we end with Adon Olam, but I want to invite you to turn to page 30, the last page of the book that we don't look at so often. Here's the song listed as number 3. Similar idea says, Od yavo shalom. It means peace will yet come to us, ve'al kulam, and to all. And the Israeli songwriters who penned this, a group called Sheva, which means abundance, felt that they wanted in their evocation of peace to have the last line have peace in it both in Hebrew and in Arabic, because they weren't dancing around the subject of the place where they felt the people who needed to be engaged with one another for peace. Those were the languages that were relevant for them in the moment. So you can alternate with salam and shalom. It doesn't take a linguist to understand that those two words are very close to one another, not only in sound, but in etymology and in source. So if you don't know this tune, you'll know it by the end. It has sort of two parts. But Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu 3 times, Ve'al Kulam, that whole section twice. And then Salam Aleinu Ve'al Kol Ha'olam, Salam, and then sometimes, I wrote here Salam again, but it could be Shalom as well. Okay. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Try that with me. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Once again, go. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Second part. Salam Aleinu Ve'al Kol Ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Back to the beginning. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. We'll finish with part 1 again. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Peace will yet come. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Alechem, Salam Aleikum. It's the same thing. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you to those who joined us on Zoom, and thank you to everyone here. Over the course of these next days and this next week, we will be figuring out other ways to come together in support and to hold one another up. People are responding and feeling a variety of different ways, and we're going to make opportunities for anyone who needs to get another hand to hold, another ear to listen as we make our way through. Shabbat Shalom.